VR to survival prepping for normal people. Embracing the suck. Again, I am making a video response to Kyle of Survival Prepping for Normal People YouTube channel. I do these because, as my video banning of ghosts shows, my comments on his channel either are going to spam or they're outright ghost, shadow, ban. I don't know which. I will have a few clips from Kyle in this video response, and here is the first.
The point of every generation throughout human history has been and should be to make the life of the next generation easier, right? But there are costs and consequences to that philosophy. And the reason it never kind of quite works out the way it should is that people don't learn very well from listening to other people about mistakes they made.
What are the costs and consequences of that philosophy? That there are reasons why it doesn't seem to work does not address these. And I propose the reason things do not seem to be working has everything to do with moneyed interests. More on that later. I disagree that people don't learn from the mistakes of others, but often they may think they have a better plan or approach, should they attempt the same. Another clip, the root of his video.
But what I really wanted to get to the root of in this video is a mass delusion that really came into vogue right about the Victorian age, when humans were, especially in Western civilization, were just hitting their stride with industrialization. We had harnessed the power of machines to do things for us that suck. That's why we get machines to do it.
Indeed, we have added machines to do work we don't want to do, and even sometimes work we do want to do, shifting the workforce to other uses of our energy. This trend is continuing, with AI threatening to take over even management, sales, marketing, cashiering, and most all other jobs we shifted to. With this advent, what will we humans do? As I pointed out in my first VR, there are 4 solutions. Being 100% controlled, being pets, being eradicated, or having complete control of our lives under ethics. I don't know about you, Kyle, but I rather like the last option.
Due to industrialization and the fact that humans have been able to separate themselves more and more and further from things that suck, humanity got hypnotized under this mass delusion that the goal of life was to be happy.
I have never known anyone who thought the goal of life was to be happy. Most people I have met felt that the goal in life was to be able to do what they think is important. In the confines of the paradigm they find themselves in, they think the goal is to get enough money so they can do what they really want to do. And that in turn would be their happiness. Happiness itself is not the goal, but the affording of whatever goal they have. Some seek to teach, some to cure disease, some to build glorious things, some to create art, some to do archaeology, some to do math, some to do science and experiments. See my video? Are you fulfilling your potential?
Humanity, Western civilization in particular, is under this grand mass illusion that the point of life is to be happy. Those that would sell you things, those that would profit from your labor, those that would have tendencies to control your energy and focus it in ways that makes their life suck less, but yours probably makes it suck more. They want you to be part of this mass delusion that the point of life is to be happy. Because they will tell you that you're just one product away from being happy. They figured that out in the early 1900s. That if you could tie people's spending and work habits emotionally, you get a lot more out of them if you're the people that are trying to suck the life energy out of everybody else. These industrialized vampires, if you want to call them that, corporate vampires, governmental vampires, whatever. They make their living off of harnessing our energy and using it. Okay?
You speak of the ones who would sell us things and harness our energy as industrialized vampires. I call them the psychopaths in control. Indeed, they work to create the idea that we must consume to be happy, must plug our energy in to afford that one last thing. This places us in the position of being their slaves, servants, sex toys, and sacrifices. The wars they create and profit off of are their sacrifices of us. Given money equals power over others, and given psychopaths lust for power over others, they will do anything to get and keep that power. And so, money promotes psychopaths to power. Top-down control mind, government, draws psychopaths far more than others too, for the same reason. And so, we have psychopaths in control on our planet.
You know, it's a lot easier to motivate people by their natural tendencies to avoid things that aren't good for them. That's a lot easier to motivate people doing that than it is to motivate people in a reward-based system where they work towards something that is good for them. We're built to deal with bullshit. We just are.
Wait, didn't you just say we are motivated to buy things in an effort to obtain happiness? Isn't that a motivation to be rewarded? Isn't a lucrative salary a motivation to be rewarded? In fact, I would say that if it was easier to motivate people to avoid the bad, we would see a world of outright slavery. Do as we tell you, or you will be beaten. The slavery instead is hidden in an illusion of reward. The best slave is the one who thinks he is free. Johann von Goethe. And we are slave-driven with carrots on sticks, with the promise of reward. All contests prove we will happily work for reward. In fact, do this and I will give you that works better than if you don't do this, I will do that to you. Between those two, the promise of reward will yield higher quality of work than the promise of punishment. So I will dispute your claim that we are not driven by reward.
Those in positions of power, I call them the people that pull the levers of power all the time, they know that your natural tendency is to avoid things that suck. So they throw all kinds of things out there to kind of funnel you into the psychological kill zone, if you will, because they know you're going to try to avoid those things. You have a larger propensity to do that than you do working toward things that are good. That's why we'll never achieve any kind of mass utopia for everybody.
I want to make clear that what I suggest we do to solve for psychopaths in control, as well as the encroaching AI/robot problem, is not a utopia. There will still be problems to solve for. There will still be emergencies, interpersonal problems, and more. But what I propose is vastly better than what we have now.
Abundancism, whatever you want to call it, it's that whole Star Trek thing, it's just not going to happen.
Well, it surely is not going to happen if people assume it's a pipe dream and write it off out of hand. Nor will it happen if too few are considering it? Before anyone decides that it will not work, I suggest they spend time, less than 10 minutes, watching my video Abundancism. It's also recommended that one watch the other videos in my YouTube playlist on Amaterasu Solar or Amaterasu Solar Again channels. And if there are questions, I am happy to answer them.
If bitching and complaining made progress, we would live in a Star Trek type world, because I guarantee you there's no shortage of that out there. I do it myself from time to time. I know. I don't mean to disappoint you guys, but I am human after all. Sometimes stuff pisses me off, and the only outlet I have is to bitch about it and see how much it sucks. And then I remember, oh yeah, that's just life, dude.
No, we wouldn't live in a Star Trek world if bitching and complaining worked. Bitching and complaining are irrelevant to the systems that put psychopaths in control. And no, it's not just life. It's life in a system run by psychopaths. I might want to clarify for those who do not know what a psychopath is. Primary psychopaths, about 1% of humans across the board, carry a gene that manifests individuals incapable of feeling caring, compassion, love, or empathy for others. They have an emotional deficit. In systems run by psychopaths, secondary psychopathy emerges as people shut off their caring, compassion, love, and empathy to avoid pain in an effort to succeed. Psychopaths are not to be confused with psychotics, who are out of touch with reality and cannot grasp the effects of their behavior choices. Psychopaths are fully aware of what their behaviors do to others. They just don't care. If something seems to serve them, they will do it, irrespective of any consequences to others. Thus we see the psychopathic things we see: indoctrination from birth, propaganda, fake history, fake news, and the degrading of our medicines, food, water, air, and electromagnetic environment, 5G, cell phones, etc. I think we might want to do all we can to solve for the problem of psychopaths in control, and I welcome a debate with you, Kyle. If you're interested, get in touch with me, and we can do a hangout for an hour, if that works for you. Shall we make things better for the next generation, and many generations to come?
I don't think I could teach a cat to fetch, but I've seen them do some really cool shit.
I had to include this. My cat fetches. She's been doing it since she was a kitten. Amaterasu Solar, shill for humanity. Love, always. Humanity will win.